Welcome back to Vantage Video. I'm playing skylines in today's video. We're going to be building a new oil industrial area slash complex, and also adding on to some more services like garbage and also water treatment. So we're doing that new area, and then also oil. So we're finally going to have one of the specialized industries in our city. We're going to start off with oil because pretty much everything that we have built in terms of unique factories are requiring plastics, and so oil. That's what you need to make plastics. So figured we might as well start with this. Also, we just have very little room here, so since we don't need to get oil from the ground, since there is no oil to get from the ground in this map, I believe there might be some in the water, but I forget. At least in this area there is none. So all the oil would need to be imported, so there wouldn't need to be as much space. It would be mostly just storage buildings, which we would need anyways for oil. So that pretty much just allows for me to take up less room. And so I first start off by putting down our main building, then also our storage buildings. I put one large oil tank area thing and then two small ones. And then I got to work on what will actually produce our petroleum and plastics. And so I started to place down those plants and try to make them all to where they all felt like one big complex here. And this will produce tons of plastics and petroleum for our city. And it already got some of our unique factories up and running in our city once I got this all built in. And while right now they aren't going, in just a little bit they will start to go as we get some oil in. But I also made sure they had all their services. And I just made sure there was also a border road around pretty much the entire thing. And now that I've finished adding in the final touches, which are pretty much just concrete and a border fence, then I also put in some warehouses for our stuff. I got to work on what will be our little unique, or not little, it's actually one of the biggest ones, but our unique factory for this general area, and this will be mostly industrial stuff over in this areas here. And so, I did the petroleum factory, but first I added in some parking for our oil workers, because that's pretty helpful for them. They can actually get to work and, work, because we kind of need them to do that. And then I also put down some more parking, and then just added in finishing touches with concrete, like I said earlier. And I just wanted the concrete just to go make it feel like that it went all the way to the highway, which, I mean, it does, but, yeah. Then I also put in a little power substation here. Just figured it needed it, because we don't have any on this side of the highway, at least over in this area of the city. And also, well, just kind of needed one. It just felt right. But this is the petroleum factory, I believe. Or not petroleum, crude oil, or whatever it's called. I forget. But I put in parking for it. and put a little path in the center there, and then just concrete it off, just get rid of that extra little bit. Did that, and then I also put in some warehouse just to store the stuff that's being used for it. And so it has 3 different things, so I put down 3 different warehouses. I also placed down a warehouse for just unique factory goods, and that will obviously get filled up once this starts to get used, and maybe if we put in some other unique factories over here, they'll fill that up too. And then I made a road for future expansion across this big Y that we have here. And I don't want to put really anything inside the Y, or at least not too much in there. I want to try and keep it fairly empty because that's how Ys are typically in real life. But I also put it in a road that just kind of goes parallel to the train line here. Just figured that we might as well do it. It makes sense. And I also put in a small little area just for some generic industry, just because I didn't really have anything else I could put in this little area here, so figured I'd just put generic in here, help boost our generic industry, and just do that. And then I also fix up the road, make sure it looked nice and how I wanted it. And then I just messed around with zoning a bit just to make sure that the zoning was just right, and then I also did some finishing touches with concrete in this little area. And then to start off the area, I just put in a little toll booth just to be like a little security booth. I've done that in pretty much all these little restricted areas and stuff like that that have been done in this city. And I just first start off by putting our recycling plant in, and this is all going to feel like one big plant when I'm done. Or not one big plant, but one big facility. It is a very odd plot of land, so while our security booth comes out here, there is really nothing over here, pretty much just the road then wraps back around to then have most stuff over here, but we still didn't even fit in a whole lot over here too. But I put in 2 little water treatment plant things, which I will probably need to put in there one of these little service areas over near the airport too, just to help deal with the city needs, because this still didn't meet it, and well, we kind of need to meet the needs of our city. But I was going to put one in there, and I realized that I would not have any more space if I put that there. So I got rid of it, put in a landfill, and I put in a recycling center, and what are they called? Transfer buildings, waste transfer buildings, I don't know what they're called, but yeah, one of those. And then I also just moved around our power lines a bit, just to try and fit in some more stuff in here. Wasn't able to do it, but then I just put a fence around the entire thing, just put a border in for it. And then I just did final touches with it, like concrete, and also parking, and then also put in the water pipes and stuff. But I pretty much just did the same type of stuff where I just put the concrete all the way to the highway, and then I also put the concrete to the oil stuff there too. But in general, I think it turned out very nicely. And then just to finish off the episode here, there was some traffic problems with the other highway interchange over there at the end of this main road that all this stuff is on the side of, so I just put in their highway exit I've been wanting to put in another one of these over here, or one over for this side of the highway, because we don't actually got one until you get to the part where it just becomes a 6-lane road. So this will help relieve the traffic from there, and it did its job very well, I think. But I just did final things with that. But here's the final product. Do hope you enjoyed. If you have, make sure to like and subscribe. Do see you next one. Bye.